What's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at this brand new 2023 BMW X2. Big shout out and thank you to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this new X2 for today's video. Definitely take a look at their website, linked down below. And the model that we're looking at today is the sDrive28i GoldPlay Edition, finished off in black sapphire metallic and has an MSRP at $42,600. Underneath the hood of this 2023 BMW X2, you're going to find a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. It pumps out 228 horsepower with 258 pound-feet of torque. It's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission and sends all of the power to the front wheels. With a curb weight around 3,600 pounds and running on a 16.1 gallon fuel tank, you're looking at 24 miles per gallon in the city with 31 out on the highway. The overall length is 172.2 inches with wheelbase at 105.1. Height is 71.8 with width at 60.1 inches, and then ground clearance is 7.1 inches. And then now moving on to the exterior styling with the 2023 BMW X2. It's a nice sporty, compact size mini SUV. You can see we got black on the housings of these headlights. They are LED. They have a really nice daytime running light underneath them as well. You get some sharp lines in the front bumper, parking sensors all around as well. Then you can see a cutout in the farther side of the bumper to allow air to pass through the front bumper. The lower portion has a massive opening to allow maximum cooling to the intercooler for the turbo. You can see all the mesh, this gunmetal gray trim. Then of course we get the traditional kidney-shaped design for this grille, finished off in gloss black with a really cool gloss design. You can see the BMW logo right up front, and then really sharp lines all throughout the hood. It does come together nicely. You know, BMW does do a great job giving all their cars a really sporty design. If we take a look at these wheels now, finished off in a two-tone, you get machined silver as well as gunmetal gray. Then you can see that gold color all throughout with your M Sport logo. You can see the body color design around the front fenders along with an M Sport badge. Then there's a nice gloss gray design for the lower side skirt, and then a few sharp lines throughout the side profile. We get body colored door handles and body colored mirror caps with an integrated turn signal as well as some gloss black trim. Then you can see all the gloss black running around these windows. We get a panoramic roof up top as well. And then taking a look at the side profile, I love the BMW logo on the side, and you can tell how small the car is. Really good proportions, nice sharp lines all around. And as we make our way to the rear, you can see the sharp line cutting through the side profile all the way into these taillights. Really nice LED design. They protrude outwards just a little bit to add to the width. And then we get an integrated spoiler all up top with your third brake light right in the center, and then the BMW logo in the center of the car. You get the X2 badge on the left, sDrive28i over on the right, and then a few sharp body lines throughout this rear bumper. There's more parking sensors as well as the gloss gray, and then a dual exhaust with black tips. So there's a good look at the exterior with this GoldPlay Edition 2023 X2. Nice little compact crossover. We have BMW's key fob, as you would expect, pretty simple looking. If I go ahead and lock it by just tapping the BMW logo, by just grabbing the door handle, it automatically unlocks and we can check out this interior. This particular spec gets the black perforated Dakota leather interior with yellow stitchings and accent all throughout. If we take a look at this door panel now, finished in black, you can see that really cool contrast yellow stitching and some silver trim up top. We get your release handle with lock and unlock, all of your window controls and mirror controls, and your grab handle. Then a trunk release button as well as a little bit of storage. You can see the Edition logo written down here on the door sill. It is finished in that same yellowish gold color. Then we get all the power controls on the side of the seat with memory seating. More of that stitching design all throughout, and you even get a manual leg rest. Has a really cool look. I love that fun aspect, and even the single piece backs just give this a fun sporty touch. You do get the M colors on the inside stitching. Then we get a really nice black leather steering wheel with your M logo. And then now inside the X2, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. Taking a look at the gauge cluster now, it's very simple with your speedometer on the left and fuel, and then you have your tach and engine temperature over on the right side. We can tap this BC icon over on the left stalk and scroll through a few things in the lower portion of the screen. Not really too much information on it. Taking a look at the steering wheel now, we get a nice silver trim piece. You get some cruise control settings over on the left, and then some Bluetooth and audio over on the right. On the left of the steering wheel, we have all of your headlight controls, more of that stitching, and one of your air vents. Then you get black running across the entire dashboard, And then you can see all the stitching along the dashboard. We get this really cool gold pattern along the plastic trim, and it matches nicely with the yellow stitching underneath it. Moving to the navigation screen, you have a few things that will come up on here. You can see all of your main screen. This looks like it's the older generation of the BMW infotainment. We have your home button on the left. You can toggle that to see a few more things and just go into each screen and take a look at what it has. You can also control the screen using the rotary dial down here. We have various shortcut buttons, like for map, you have the rotary dial right here. So if you take a look at the navigation screen, I can easily zoom in and out with the rotary. Tapping the media icon down below, it goes to all of your shortcuts, and you can easily bump it over and adjust and see what you want on the screen. If I go ahead and take this and put it into reverse, you get your backup camera on the right side with all of your parking sensors on the left. Then you can just tap the upper button for park. Underneath the screen, we have a safety icon right here that you can press, and you can adjust all the different intelligent safety. You can see all the different settings. We have 2 air vents and hazards, some radio controls right in the center. You can see how it even comes up with all of your presets as you swipe your finger. And then we have your climate controls down below that. With your fan speed right in the center, you do get dual zone. You can also sync them very easily. You can adjust everything, heated seats, your different zones, and then defrost on the left, AC over on the right. You can see more of that yellow stitching cutting through the center with 2 cup holders, a little bit of storage, and then 2 USBs. You can see how everything looks, that rotary dial, your electronic park and brake. Drive modes are right here with traction control and parking sensors. When you go into the different modes, this bottom corner is going to change. You can see the charge and power. You can go into the normal mode and then up into the sport mode. And then taking a look behind that, we have a nice black leather armrest with more of the stitching. You can just lift this up out of the way to reveal all the storage. There are 2 USBs there, and then you can even open this handle and you get a little bit extra storage space. And then moving over to the glove box now, really large bucket, as you can see. Pretty good looking interior. This does feel like a much older BMW. It looks like it is all the old generation stuff, but of course for a little bit more affordable price point, you still get the BMW feeling, just a little bit older. We do get that full panoramic sunroof up top with your sunshade, and then all your dome lights and controls up top. And then moving into the rear seats, if I grab the door handle and open it up, we get that same yellow stitching everywhere, and then the rear seats also have the same stitching design. This is a 3-person bench row. You still get the same stitching up top, even with those M colors. Then you can grab the centerpiece, pull this down, and you get 2 cup holders along with your armrest. And then up in front of that, we get 2 climate control vents as well as USB ports, and then storage on the backs of both seats. So then now sitting in the back of this X2, this is a pretty small SUV. I'm 5'11". However, I do have pretty good headroom. There's a nice bubble cut out into the ceiling to give you that added headroom. Armrest is not too bad, and with the driver's seat set at my height, I still get a little bit of knee room. These seats do recline. There's a fabric strap on the bottom of each of them, and you can pull it back a little bit. Not really making too much of a difference, it's about 1 inch. However, each of these 3 seats do recline individually with the ones down here, but not too bad for a small car. And then moving on to the cargo area, you can use the button on the interior or the key fob, or you can just grab your BMW logo, lift that open, and it's gonna automatically pop all the way open. You can see we have these cool floor mats down here with that yellow gold color on them. For being a compact crossover, it's actually decently roomy in here. You get the privacy cover up top and a pretty squared off interior. And after manually folding down the rear seats, they are 3 individual seats that fold down, which is a really good touch. But you can see just how much more storage space you get. They fold down nice and flat, and it really does open up the interior space of a compact SUV. All right, so setting off now in this 2023 X2, what is this small compact like to drive? So in Eco Pro mode, getting up to some speed, it's honestly pretty peppy. We're almost at 60 miles an hour, just getting up to speed without even thinking about it. So I like how the turbo engine is adequately powered. It's got plenty of power, good efficiency. It really is a smooth to drive car. The transmission, really quick and comfortable. You don't really feel anything annoying with it. Getting comfortable, you do feel like you're in a pretty small car. Like I said, I'm 5'11" sitting here. I mean, I have plenty of headroom, good armrests and everything, but my knees feel like they're a little bent, even with the steering wheel pull out to me and stuff like that. So it's a compact car, obviously. Visibility is pretty good though, pretty good view out of the windshield. The mirror is kind of big feeling since it's such a small car to where it's really only this much view that way. But overall, you can see out perfectly fine. Over your left and right shoulder, I'd say the right shoulder's a little compromised. Back there is a little bit tight to see out of. But overall, not too bad. The mirrors all do a really good job. If we go into the comfort mode now, just toggling it up a little bit, it's gonna be a little bit more responsive with throttle. Steering feels nice and responsive. There's a little bit of torque steer as we get up to about 4,000 RPM there, so you can feel that just a little bit. And if we go into the sport mode and manual mode, you only really have shifting capabilities here. There's no paddle shifters or anything, but even with that, it still is pretty peppy to get up to some speed. It's actually pretty comfortable and quiet. It's a pretty quiet car in here. You don't really hear much wind noise or road noise or anything like that. Not too bad. It's more of an economy BMW without all the crazy luxuries, but you still get a pretty solid feeling ride. I like that aspect. You know, it doesn't feel like it's a cheap car. It does feel like it's a pretty solid ride. So then flipping around to my perspective, my honest thoughts about this car, it's one of those cars where, yes, you're getting a BMW. It seems like it's a lot of money to get a very compact SUV, and you don't really get the BMW-ness in it, aside from ride quality. One thing I've noticed with BMWs, even their most entry-level, cheapest vehicles, they all do feel really solid. So there is a certain aspect with this car that I'm in that feels like it's a rock-solid car. It doesn't feel like just another cheap economy car, and I think that's kind of the biggest selling point of a car like this. You know, when you hit bumps, the wind noise, road noise, all that stuff, it feels like a solid car. Closing the doors, it feels pretty solid. So I like how BMW doesn't really make any cheap cars. They all feel pretty nice. Only downfalls with this car particularly is the interior doesn't feel like a new car. This is all old BMW, like 2010 stuff. So this one, I don't know, you're kind of getting a car that you can say you have a BMW, but you're really just getting a very old BMW that happens to be new. So not quite my favorite car, I would say, that BMW makes. It does drive pretty nice, you know, solid over that big bump, plenty of power, good efficiency. It's on the smaller side, obviously. I am fitting comfortably, so I'd say if you are just you and maybe another person, it's going to be a good, like, city car if you want to have that BMW name, stuff like that. Not a bad option. However, I think for this near $40,000 price tag, you know, I think there's probably things out there that you can get that have more power, better space, and more technology. So it's kind of a dated car to get. So take that comment as, you know, whatever you think. If you're looking to buy one of these, certainly check it out. If you are looking for a brand new BMW under warranty, all that sort of thing, easy to finance kind of car, obviously there are some good selling points with a car like this. However, it does seem like it's kind of old. The interior with all the yellow stuff is a cool accent. It's like a $4,000 or $5,000 package. Seems like all it really is the stitching and the color on the wheels. So maybe the seats themselves might be part of it. So kind of a gimmicky package, not really any performance. You do have the nicer wheels, the M Performance wheels. You're just kind of sacrificing a lot of the interior space, the nicer technology, and the more modern feeling car just to get into the brand name of a BMW. So I don't know, it's an alright car, I would say. Going to sport mode though, I like how it does have that peppy feeling. Like I said, they don't make cheap cars, and they also don't make slow cars. Even with this one being very low in power, it feels nice and peppy. If we downshift into third gear, that was 40 to 60, not too bad. You can get xDrive, so there was a little bit of torque steer in the front wheel drive one. Most people probably aren't going to notice that because it's not that powerful of a car. But of course, you know, if you get the xDrive, you're not quite going to have that. So there's a full look then at the 2023 BMW X2. Cool package to have this fun little color interior and things like that. The car itself seems like it's kind of an outdated car. I'm sure I think they might be almost done producing this car, or they probably are close to even completely renovating it. It certainly feels like a little bit of an older car, but nonetheless not a bad option if you do want a BMW branded car that happens to be pretty small and pretty efficient. Big shout out and thank you once again to Hendrick BMW North Lake for providing this for today's video. Take a look at their website, linked down below. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.